What's up, guys? Welcome to Oddcast, a For Nerds by Nerds show. I'm CN. Today we're actually going to talk about season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots. Let's get into it. So yes, I'm still away, still working. I'm not at the Oddcast compound, but I figured I have to go ahead and bring this to you. Season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots just dropped a couple days ago, and I kind of want to say something about it. Alright, so I'm not going to lie to you. Love, Death, and Robots Season 2 had some great episodes. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't a 100% fan of it. I'd say that if I was to give it a review like we usually do, I would have gave it probably a 7. Season 3, though, I gave it a solid 8.5. Now, right off the bat, the first one I kind of want to go over is Night of the Many Dead. That short is phenomenal. It gives me everything that I want in a zombie movie miniaturized, not just characters and figures, but of course the timeline too, since all these are roughly relatively short. Now you see this whole thing as far as what basically kickstarted the whole thing. You got these two people going to the graveyard. Why? Have no clue. They decide to start having sex, breaking stuff, and then because of that cause this weird mystical thing to happen. Zombies come arise, and that's how it goes on from there. And then of course ridiculous ensues. Now eventually actually gets to the point to where they eventually get to this nuclear power plant, and then the zombies become giant nuclear breathing beings, and then they basically take over the whole planet. Now another one I want to go over with you really quick is Jibaro. Now that one reminds me a lot of The Witness. Now of course in Love, Death, and Robots, more than likely, not 100% sure, but I'm willing to bet that they're using a lot of the same animators. There's a lot of the same feel with Jibaro and The Witness as far as using CG and actual photography within the clip, kind of like marrying them together, which is great. It was beautifully done. It was a little weird at first, like the siren basically getting these knights and warriors into that little lake. It was really cool. And then of course you have this one knight who can't hear, so he's not seduced by her and not getting pulled into the lake, and she's actually kind of confused at first, but then it was like a weird twist of like how that story went, because it went from like her trying to kill him to her being kind of sort of infatuated by him, and he's not 100% knowing exactly how to feel about it until he realizes that she's covered in jewels. And then that's when, of course, like with Love, Death, and Robots, he can take a twist. He starts pulling shit off of her, literally ripping her apart to get all the coins and jewels that I'm sure she's collected over the years that make up her body. And then he just kind of just tosses her down the damn waterfall. But basically, it's visually stunning. And then of course, there's a lot of like dance movement choreography type stuff that I thought was very beautiful. The cinematography kind of reminds me a little bit of Sam Raimi, with a lot of like the front-facing zoom camera kind of thing going on there, but like it was very well done, and that's why I picked this as my number 2. Now the last one I actually want to kind of go over with you guys really quick is Swarm. Now Swarm reminds me a lot of Beyond Aquila Rift. Like I said, I believe they're the same animators because it has a very same feel. It's super dark towards the end of it. Humanity's kind of evolved to where now we're like interstellar traveling, talking with aliens, and then we did thinking, because we're human, we think we know everything, we think we can get away with shit, and then we don't, and then shit gets fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say. But it was very fantastic. The artwork kind of reminds me a little bit of, and I said this before, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within kind of animation. Is really good. No complaints here. Now every episode was beautifully shot. I loved season 3 way more than I loved season 2. Season 2 was kind of a miss for me. But that's all I'm going to say about it right now. Love, Death, and Robot season 3 is on Netflix right now. Go watch it. And but before you go, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and of course hit that notification bell, because we plan on doing more stuff. I plan on doing more solo reviews or reactions to stuff, as well as Joe, as well as Paige. So we're going to be doing stuff together, of course, but due to my travel as far as work, and as far as us here at Oddcast, we're kind of a busy group. So but we're going to try to get together and get with you guys. But until then, later guys.